Okay, so picture this. A social media feed that updates the very instant something happens. No refreshing, no pulling down, no waiting. That's the promise of a new platform called RedNet. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the vision, what it's like to use, and of course, the cool tech that makes this real-time connection a reality.
And it all starts with this one sentence. This is the heart of the entire project, you know? It's not about just building another app for the sake of it. It's about a mission. This is the why behind every single line of code and every design choice for RedNet. And the person with that vision, that's Saban, the platform's founder. So today, we're going to unpack exactly how he took this really powerful idea and turned it into a fully functional real-time social network that you can actually use. So what really drives someone to build a whole new social network from scratch? I mean, it's a huge undertaking. To really get RedNet, we have to start with its creator and his pretty unique philosophy on what technology should be. So this gives you a bit of a feel for Sapan. The key thing to notice here isn't just the technical skill, but that focus on blending art with code. It's a different way of thinking. This idea of empowering creativity, well, that's the foundation that the entire RedNet platform is built on. All right, so we've seen the vision. Now for the fun part. Let's look at the result. What does it actually feel like to use RedNet? How does that core philosophy translate into the user experience? This is it. This is the core of everything. No more pulling down to refresh your feed. No more wondering if your comment actually posted. It's all instantaneous. What you do, what your friends do, it all happens the moment it happens. It's that simple. And here's where you really see that real-time promise in action. In your feed, new posts just appear. Likes and comments pop up right away, making everything feel so much more alive and dynamic. And in the chat rooms, you can see who's online right now. It totally changes the pace of how you interact with people. Now, to be a real player in the social media space, you need more than just a cool real-time gimmick. So RedNet also has all the modern stuff we've come to expect, like stories and blue tick verification. The point here is that it's not just a tech demo, it's built to be a full-featured, competitive social network right from the get-go. So we know what it does, but how does it pull it off? Now we get to pop the hood and take a look at the engine, the technology that makes this whole real-time experience possible. The architecture is built to be modular, and the best way to think about that is like building with Legos. Seriously, the part you actually see and touch, that's the front end. The brain that does all the work in the background, that's the back end. And the part that remembers everything is the database. They're all separate, specialized blocks, but they click together perfectly. This makes the whole system cleaner, more powerful, and way easier to update. Let's make this super simple with an example. You tap the like button on a post. That simple tap triggers an event in the database. A tool called socket.io then instantly pushes that update out to everyone else looking at that post. Just like that, their like count changes, and they didn't have to do a single thing. That's the magic right there. The two big players making this happen are Socket.io and Firebase. Here's an easy way to think about it. Socket.io is like the real-time messenger. It's the system that's constantly zipping messages back and forth between you and the server, instantly. Then you have Firebase, which is kind of like the central library. It's the database that stores everything, the security guard that handles logins, and the whole infrastructure that makes sure it all runs smoothly. But look, technology is only half the story, right? Let's switch gears and talk about the design philosophy, because how an app looks and feels is just as important for creating those meaningful connections we talked about. Simplicity, clarity, and emotion. These aren't just buzzwords they threw in. They're the actual guiding principles for the design. The whole goal is to create an experience that feels natural and emotionally resonant, not something that's cluttered or makes you think too hard. And you can see this philosophy in the design itself. By keeping distractions to a minimum and using clean, modern gradients, the focus stays right where it should be, on the content and the people you're connecting with. The aim is to make a digital space that feels calm and intuitive, whether you're on your phone or your computer. You know, building a platform like this is never really done. The vision for RedNet is pretty ambitious, so let's take a look at the official roadmap and see where this is all headed. So the roadmap for RedNet's future is pretty bold. It outlines 5 major expansions. And we're not talking about small tweaks here. These are big moves designed to fundamentally change what the platform can do. And this roadmap shows a really clear direction. We're seeing a big push towards richer media, with video and voice rooms.
Then there are deeper tools for creators with an AI companion and advanced analytics. And finally, a move to a full-blown native mobile app. This tells me the plan is to grow from a social network into a complete creator platform. So when you boil it all down, it all leads to this one ultimate goal: a seamless hybrid experience that works perfectly across web and mobile, but supercharged with smart, AI-powered features. The idea isn't just to make RedNet faster, but to make it smarter. And that brings us to our final thought for today. RedNet is a really fascinating case study in how to make technology faster and more responsive, but it leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. As all our digital tools get faster and faster, how do we make sure they're actually helping us build deeper, more meaningful human connections? What's the next step?